where I enjoyed the most in my career, a place with such a homely environment, a place where work never felt like work to me at all. And I must not overlook the fact that today, being 14th of February and Valentine's Day, is indeed a privilege to receive so much of love and flowers. Though I have been invited to serve the valedictory note, I have been also requested to give the young students and career seekers some guidance and tips from my kitty. I am sure you all had high voltage academic lectures from distinguished and learned professionals, and you must be all drained of energy to listen to more. So I shall keep my instructions brief and not bore you so much. Not only that, I am sure that you being ambitious youngsters would know all the tips and tricks of your career development better than me. Allied health sciences courses are numerous and thus give you a variety of options to choose from and provide you with immense opportunities to be associated with star doctors and consultants and big names and big brands in corporate healthcare. The courses of cardiac technology, physician assistant technology, cardiovascular technology, perfusion technology and other courses give you a comprehensive and concise exposure in 3 years, what medical students with their MBBS, MD and super specialty degrees learn in 12 years. These courses give you enough knowledge to help doctors in their daily workup, diagnosis of patients and investigational modalities like ECG, echo, treadmill and also treatment platforms as cardiac catheterization labs, intensive care units and operation theatres. The physician assistant course gives you a variety of opportunities in assisting top physicians in the outpatient department and in the intensive care units in elicitation of history and clinical diagnosis, and also ordering blood tests, ECG, echo and treadmill tests, and also in the management of patients both in the outpatient department and ICU. Most doctors or cardiologists are very busy with their hands full in running busy OPDs, seeing as many as 20 to 60 patients per day, while conducting rounds, attending to emergencies, and also performing cardiac interventions. In this tight and stressful daily routine, you people will be able to provide a supportive, strong arm in the managing a big percentage of their workload, especially with the basic evaluations and assessments. Once you have your degree, what is going to help you in ascending your career and pay line is how good your knowledge and clinical, diagnostic and analytical skills are. These can be sharpened if your theory is strong and if you work with or assist excellent doctors or cardiologists. Your skills would be a blessing to the busy doctor and a relief to numerous patients who are anticipating quick responses and relief from their doctors. In cardiac care technology, the scope is profound, with exposure and experience in non-invasive investigations as ECG, echocardiography and treadmill testing and even nuclear medicine. A cardiologist is mostly busy with outpatient departments and procedures, and he barely has time to perform full-study echocardiograms, which would easily eat away 10 to 15 minutes of his time per patient. So being a good and reliable echo technician is being a huge asset to the consultant. It is even more greater if you are good in both adult and pediatric echocardiography. In echocardiography, what matters is reliability. At MIOT, we do around 40 to 50 echoes per machine per day. When I see the echo report, what I first check is who performed the echo. When I see that it has been performed by someone I know is good at her work, his or her work, I won't even bother to cross-check the findings. So that is the kind of trust you should gain when you are deputed with some work. So once you have your degrees, what matters next is only your knowledge, competence, and thus reliability. I always believe what the mind does not know, the eyes do not see. So it is important that one reads and enhances his or her knowledge and then work in a high volume center and acquire the practical skills. Also, with the invasive lab experience, you can serve as cath lab technicians in providing appropriate hardware in the performance of coronary angiograms, angioplasties, both primary and elective angioplasties, also complex interventions like rotablation, bypass graft angioplasties, left main interventions, total occlusions, and also imaging modalities like intravascular ultrasound, optical coherence tomography, and physiological assessment with fractional flow reserve assessment. And also complex valve interventions like PTMC, TAVI, and also device therapy for brady and tachyarrhythmias and heart failure with pacemakers, implantable cardioverter defibrillators, and cardiac resynchronization therapy, and also a wide variety of pediatric interventions. So you are almost there performing and helping and aiding the cardiologists perform procedures without any complications and with ease. Those interested in EC, brady and tachy devices and cardiac resynchronization therapy and electrophysiology can take up assistance of electrophysiology studies and radio frequency ablation procedures for arrhythmias. With perfusion technology, you can be the right hand of the cardiac surgeon and help him with performing bypass surgeries, valve surgeries, complex surgeries like redo surgeries, and even heart transplants. Thus, the scope of the allied health science courses is huge, considering the numerous cardiac hospitals in every nook and corner of the state and the country. And like I said, once you have the degree, there is no limit to what you can achieve if you are knowledgeable and trained in a good center. You will easily be accommodated by big corporates and brands in the health sector, even in overseas. MIOT has recently opened a high-end hospital in Fiji Islands, and now our non-invasive and invasive technicians are taking turns in supporting the work there with higher pay scales. There are a lot of AHS degree holders working in the UAE, Europe, Australia, and other countries. You can also do your post-graduation in your areas of interest and can even join multinational device and imaging companies with high-paid job opportunities in India as well as overseas. Communication skills are very important in this area though. Those interested in teaching can also take up teaching too, with many corporates conducting these courses now. The best way to mold your career is to look up to successful seniors as role models and to talk to them and ask them for their guidance and how they achieve their goals. So, having said about the courses and options, I would like to share with you some valuable career tips and lessons which I have learned from my own career and experience. For the past 4 years, I have been heading the Department of Cardiology, Interventional Cardiology and Advanced Heart Diseases at MIOT Hospital, which is a 1,000-bed state-of-the-art facility, where we do advanced procedures like heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, bone marrow transplant, and all complex cardiac interventions, valve and device therapies, advanced orthopedic surgeries, and almost everything under the sky that can be named. My journey to this position was not a short one. It took me 14 years of labor after my DM in 2004, or you can call it a Vanavas like this Lord Rama, with lot of obstacles and downs before getting to head the unit in 2014 March. To learn procedures from the best centers, I had to move around and I had the opportunity to work in prominent institutions as Sri Ramachandra Medical College, Frontier Lifeline Chennai, Apollo Hospitals Maine, and Madras Medical Mission, and Narayana Hrudayalaya Bangalore, working for 2.5 to 3 years in each place. I believe if one works in only one center, you are like a frog in the well, and you will think that that is the best. I am sure all centers will be doing excellent work, but seeing other centers was an eye-opener for me on how differently things can be done, and such experience makes you more flexible and wiser. In my journey, I also had the privilege to work with 7 Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan laureates and great visionaries and icons of health and medical care. Professor B.M. Hegde was my professor in medicine, Professor S. Kanikachalam my guru in cardiology, Dr. K. M. Cherian, a legend who made Chennai the health capital of the South, Dr. Matthew Samuel Kavarikal, the father of angioplasty in India, with whom I trained for 2.5 years in complex interventions, Dr. Devi Shetty of Narayana Hridayalaya, the brain behind affordable healthcare in India, and Dr. P.C. Reddy, the founder of corporate healthcare in India, and now Professor P.V.A. Mohandas, the founder of MIA. The reason I mention these big names is because there is one factor or denominator which links all these visionaries, which is the factor of hard work. They are all immensely focused and hardworking people and totally committed to their work and thinking many steps ahead of their times, which is what has made them legends and health icons of India and the world. The tips I would like to offer you people from my experience is in the form of 6 P's. Nothing great in this world has been accomplished without passion. If one is passionate about his goal, then work is never work anymore. Instead, work would be a pleasure and something that brings you joy, content and fulfillment as you move towards your goal. The next P is planning. A goal which does not have a plan is only a wish. A structured and careful planning to detail is necessary to achieve your goal. For this, again, talking and observing your successful colleagues and seniors would help you to make a great plan. The next P is preparation. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So execution of your plan by preparation is again vital for your success. The next P's are perseverance and persistence. It is a continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties. As Samuel Jackson said, great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. A granite block, when it cracks at the 100th blow, everyone knows that it's not the 100th blow that cracked it. It is a cumulative effect of all those 100 blows. So perseverance and persistence always pays. But for this, you need to observe the next P, the virtue of patience. Like Leo Tolstoy said, the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. There is no life with only ups. Life has its downs, and when you use your downs as stepping stones, that you are groomed stronger and wiser in life. And last but not the least is the most important piece, that is prayers. There is no success that can be attained without prayers and support of the Almighty. But of course, praying alone will not get you anywhere. You have to do your work and then count on God in prayers and everything will fall in place. So with these few tips, I would like to conclude my bit of motivation, and I hope you all gain some wisdom out of this. Once again, I thank you all for this opportunity. God bless you all. Thank you all. Thank you.